Welcome to the Unstoppable Real Estate Agents Podcast. I'm your host and real estate productivity expert, Kim Hughes. Join me as we focus on real strategies and implement real solutions designed for you to achieve major success in your business and life while getting you organized. Hi, everybody. It's Kim Hughes, and I'd like to welcome you to the second part of our series of goal setting for the new year. And today we're going to talk about creating lasting relationships with your clients. Now, some of y'all may think this is not going to be worth your time, but stay with me because I've got some great tips in here that I think will help you take your business to a new level of client relationships. I hear a lot of agents when I talk to them during inquiries or just, our scheduled calls that, when was the last time you talked to your past client? Oh, I haven't talked to him in 5 years. And then we have to come together and build a strategy on how to reach out to that client that you haven't had communication with, whether it's been 3 months or 3 years. So the tips that we're going to talk about today is going to hopefully help you get your mindset in a way that you can look at what you're currently doing with your past clients or leads or the current client list and how you can take that to a whole new level. And, because one thing that I always look at is when an agent is successful, it's because that they were engaged with their clients. They have stayed in touch with their past clients, which we all know that brings in repeat business. That brings in referrals. And so the dynamic of client relationships going to start with what do you do from day one? So, you might want to map this out and kind of think about how you want to handle, and let's just talk about leads right now. We want to deliver high quality, customer service in the world that we live in today has really gone away. There's no thank yous. There's nothing, to show their appreciation. It's very far and few in between when you see that. And when you do see it, you recognize it. Your brain automatically triggers in on, well, what a nice smile that person had. Or, the person handing you the food through the drive-thru, did they say, have a great day? They took that little extra effort and then think about how did that make you feel, right? I mean, I do that all the time. And I am that person that I don't care if you're rude to me or not, I'm going to be overly nice because I don't know what kind of day you've had. I don't know what's going on in your life. I don't know anything about you. So I'm going to just smile and just chalk it up to you're having a bad day. But in the real estate business, we want to be aware of how we are treating our clients and how we communicate with them and how we show our appreciation for them because, they could choose another agent. So let's build these relationships now that our market is shifting and we have a little more time to think about it. So here's some tools that I'm going to give you to think about. So I want you to kind of start writing down, if you don't have a strategy or just need to improve it, this is going to help. So when you have a lead, okay, that lead comes in from your website, your social media, it's a referral, whatever that lead may have come from. You need to have a plan of a lead of 0 to 3 months out, 3 to 6 months out, 6 to 9 months out, and 9 to 12 months out. Now that may sound like a little overkill, but you need to adapt this to the way it's going to work for you. So I'm going to give you all the nitty gritty details and then you can sit down and kind of look at it and say, how do I want my business to manage these leads? Then once you have those dates and that timeline figured out, what are you going to do? So if I call you today and say, you know what, Sue, I'm going to be moving in 5 months. I'm coming from Arizona. I'm moving to Texas, but I'm not going to be ready for 5 months. Oh, okay. Great. And then you're going to ask me, what's my criteria? What area am I looking at? What's my price point, etc. The basic questions. But then what are you going to do? You're going to hang up the phone and then you're going to go put them in your email listing system, whether it's your MLS, your website, your IDX, and you're going to put them on the drips of listings that come out that meet their criteria. That's number one. Everybody should be doing that. But then what are you going to do? Right? You're going to just let it just send the email listing alerts and then just kind of think, oh, well, when they're ready, they'll let me know. No, you're going to have to create a drip campaign and based on the information that you got from them, and you're going to put them on your newsletter. You're going to go look for them on social media and connect with them. And when you connect with them on social media, make a point to make a comment and say, hi, Kim, just wanted to let you know that I'm looking forward to seeing you and helping you with your real estate needs in the future. Or, you don't even have to be that bold. You can just say, hey, Sue, it was great to see you. Great to talk to you. I'm looking forward to working with you. Whatever that is that you feel comfortable with and putting in a comment so that they see it, but other people see it. You have to keep that in mind on social media. Who all can that message be to? Okay. Then you're going to have to create a drip campaign that feeds to their needs. And that's going to take a little time and thought, right? So you're not going to send the same campaign to somebody that's moving in 3 months to somebody that's moving in 9 months, right? So there's a lot that goes into writing these campaigns, and that's why they're so important. Now, if you have a CRM system or a website or something that drips out automatic generic drip campaigns, that is better than nothing, right? But take the time to customize it. If you don't customize it, you don't know what other agents they're talking to in your market, and they could all be getting the same email. So you need to stand out. This is where you can really shine in how you communicate with your future clients. So kind of think about that strategy. What should those emails look like? How often should those emails go out? Put them on your newsletter. Make sure that they get the market stats. Make sure that you reach out to them, maybe every 30 days you make a phone call or you text them. What's that strategy you're going to put into place so that they don't forget about you? Okay. And what are you going to deliver to them that makes them think you are the agent they need to help them buy or sell their home? So that's the first thing you're going to do. Then we're going to look at past clients. Now, depending on how long you've been in the business, you're going to go backwards as, so many years. I usually say you can go back to 10 years if you want. You can go back 20 years if you want. But usually 5 to 10 years is a good number to look at, starting with your most recent past clients. And right now, in the month of January, is the best time to start with a campaign that's very strong in customer service with your 2022 clients. Now, what is that going to be? That's going to be the settlement statement. The settlement statement is something that they should already have, right? But they may have misplaced it. They don't know where it is. So your first touch for the new year should be to your 20 or your previous year clients, depending on what year you're listening to this podcast. But we are in 2023. So go back to 22, and everybody that you had as a client that closed, send them an email with the settlement statement attached, or print it out and mail it to them with a cover letter and put your business card in there. Or print it out and take it by and leave it at their house. Walk up and knock on the door and say, I was in the neighborhood. I had this. I want to give it to you so that you have it for your taxes. If there's anything else I need, just let me know. Quick, simple, out of the way. But that will leave such a huge impression on them. So make sure that if you are not sending your clients that you worked with in the previous year, January is the time to get those settlement statements out. And they're not hard to do. I mean, depending if you had 150 closings, that's going to be a little time consuming. But the average agent usually has 20 to 30 closings, especially in the market we just came out of. So this is something that you can do yourself, or you can have your assistant do it. You can, reach out to us. We'll help you do it. But it is very important that you do that. Okay, now that I've got that out of the way. Now, what I'll also advise you to do is with your past clients, whether it's last year's or 5 years ago, is go through your CRM and make sure that you have their birthdays, their home anniversary. I'm the girl that's going to get really deep and say, I want to know who their pets are, what kind of a pet, when is the birthday, etc. Because I'm going to send that dog or that cat or that horse a birthday card. That's part of their family. You could even go as far as sending the kids birthday cards. You could send the spouse birthday cards. Whoever's in that household, you could do that. But you usually focus just on the person that actually closed the property, which is usually, 2 adults. So, think about that. If you don't have their birthdays, then this is a perfect time to pick up the phone and call everybody and say, I'm organizing my database. I just noticed that I don't have your birthday. I would love to help you celebrate on your birthday by you giving me, you don't have to give me the year, just give me the month and the day. And, they are more than happy to give you that. I don't think I've ever asked anybody that question and got a no. I think everybody gives it. So that's an easy conversation to open up with when you haven't talked to somebody in, say, 2 or 3 years. Just call them up. Hey, how you doing? I was thinking about you the other day. I noticed that I don't have your birthday in my database. Would love to be able to celebrate with you. Would you mind sharing that with me? No, my birthday is whatever. And then that will open up the door of you saying, well, how's everything else going? So it kind of is an icebreaker. Okay. Look at it that way when you're picking up the phone. You can even text. You could even email them, that kind of thing. There's so many ways you can get that information. And then, of course, make sure you put their home anniversary in there so you can send them a home anniversary card or a little gift, maybe a gift card, whatever that may be. A lot of my clients will send a gift card like to Home Depot or to Lowe's or something to do with home improvement, Ace Hardware, Tractor Supply, whatever that may be. Then you want to connect with them on social media. So once you've made that connection, again, you're going to send them a note either in the comments or in a DM, letting them know, hey, I just connected with you on Facebook. It was so great to see you. I'm catching up on what's going on in your life. And it's so exciting, So pay attention to what's going on with your past clients in social media, because that's an opportunity for you to help them celebrate, whether they just changed jobs, they just had another baby, they're, one of their kids just graduated, one of their kids is getting married, they're having a baby, whatever that is in their life, you can help celebrate by sending them a card or a text message. And, you might say, hey, I just saw that your son graduated from college with this degree. I just know you are over the moon. I am so happy for y'all. Just a little note. Doesn't have to be about real estate. Just a little note about acknowledging what they have in their life. Now, if it's a sad occasion and there's a death or, something like that, then you handle that appropriately. It's kind of like I tell everybody, if somebody has died that's close to the family, you send a sympathy card. If you feel like sending flowers, then do that. Make a donation to a charity or something like that. But be aware of what that sadness is in their life to know how to handle it, I think is the way I need to say that. So, social media is great. Everybody knows that, and you can get tons of information. So, be aware of what they're doing and set aside, about 30 minutes a week just to kind of scroll through your clients and see what's going on and how do you handle that. So let's say you have, there's 20 clients you have connected with on social media, and let's say out of that 20, there's 10 things that have happened that you would love to acknowledge each one for. So then you're doing batch work, right? So you're going to sit down and you're going to write, the happy cards, you're going to write the sad cards, you're going to do whatever it is that you do to acknowledge what's going on in their lives. I hope this all kind of comes together and makes sense. So that way, because nobody else is doing it. So why not take advantage of that opportunity to make that connection with them and then show them how much they mean to you and how much you are appreciative for their business and for their friendship. And then when you look at this as a relationship building business, then you're going to start seeing the results from it. Okay. It is a numbers game when you're making phone calls and door knocking and all of that. And that's great. I support anybody that does that. I think it's great that you do. But at the same time, you're missing so many opportunities by not paying attention to what goes on with your past clients. And I think everybody knows that. You just kind of have to be, nudged a little bit about it. So, so for example, if you see somebody that, I just bought a new car and I'm excited, etc. Great opportunity. Go out, or get on Amazon and look for things that you can make a little car kit for them. Maybe a little flashlight, some emergency flashers, one of those cutter things that you can cut your seatbelt off or break glass with, and just make a little tote for them and then take it by and deliver it. That is huge. And you probably put $20, maybe $30 into it. So these kind of gifts that I talk about, if you go to my Amazon store, I have everything categorized by that particular gift. So if you went to my Amazon store and you wanted a car, to put together a tote bag for a client who just bought a new car, I'm going to have a whole section on that. So you don't have to think about it. You can just go in there and go click, 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 and then it's delivered. You put it together and deliver it. But if you're going to go out and go shopping, then you have a list of what you want, right? So pay attention to what they're doing, and if they got a new dog, then put a little doggy bag together and drop it off at their house. If their daughter just graduated from kindergarten, what a great occasion to go get some cookies and deliver them to the house, Just little things like that mean so much to people. If they had a new baby, what would you do? You can, do anything you want, really, but to me, it's like putting together bag of diapers, baby wipes, things that they're going to use on a daily basis that they do need. Outfits are cute and all of that, but, give them the necessities, because every time they open up those baby wipes, they're going to think of you. Every time they get a diaper out of that bag, they're going to think of you. And they're going to appreciate you acknowledging the highlights in their life, right? So, another strategy to put together will be how to stay in touch going forward, right? So, newsletters, market stats, being active on your social media, sending them just little cards every now and then. I have an agent that I'm really good friends with, and she just drops by and pop by. She'll send me a text, hey, I'm going to be in your area this afternoon. Can I just pop by for a minute? Absolutely. And I know what she's doing now, so I know that she's bringing me something. So pop-bys are fabulous way to stay in touch with your clients. Doesn't have to be expensive. She literally it's a couple of years ago, she came by and she gave us a couple of cookies. No big deal. She gave one to my husband and one to me. Boom, done, gone. And it was so cute and appreciative, and she thought of us, right? And I'll tell you, she gets everybody I know that's buying a house, I send them to her, because she takes the time. She's never helped us with our real estate needs, but she's helped my son. She's helped 2 or 3 of our friends, so just because I didn't buy from her doesn't mean I'm not going to refer to her, so keep that in mind as well. Friendships mean so much in this business, and you never know where your business is going to come from. So, and the other thing is, connect with your client, your businesses. I've said this before in a podcast where take your insurance agent out to lunch, show your appreciation. How can we work together? Take these vendors out to lunch, or at least acknowledge them in some way, right? Holiday card, the owner's birthday, whatever, the service rep's birthday, whoever you connect with in that business that can help you. Make sure you are aware of what they have going on and acknowledge them, because they could send you business. It's one of those things where, I just shared what I do with my realtor, but then, 3 or 4 years ago, we bought a new car, and the guys literally sat with me for hours. You're in the car dealership for hours anyway, getting a car. So when we got the car, it had all these bells and whistles on it. So I told him, I said, well, you're going to have to show me how to use all of this before I drive off the lot. He said, absolutely, happy to do that. Never did I feel that I was a burden to him. So he sat in that car and he went over every little detail. If I had a question and he didn't know it, he went and found out and came back and talked to me. Could he have sold another car during that time that he was with me? Absolutely. But he chose to spend that time with me to make sure that I was comfortable and I was a happy client because he'd already closed the deal with me. But he took it to a whole new level. And then, of course, my husband is sitting over there twiddling his thumbs, rolling in his eyes, telling me to hurry up, which, that's just funny. So anyway, what happened is, when am I going to buy a car again? Probably not for another 5 or 6 years. But here's what has happened. Anybody I know that's going to buy a car, I tell them, you need to call Joe at this dealership and tell him I sent you. And he has probably sold 3 or 4 cars to people I have just referred. And the reason why was because I felt so comfortable with him. He was not a pushy salesperson. He helped me when I needed it. He answered the phone if I called him once I got home. He was there to answer my questions. He even called me like a month later and said, how's everything going? Is your car running the way you want it to? Do you have any more questions? Is there anything we can do to help you? And, just building on that relationship is what got him those referrals from me. Okay. So, when my husband went and bought his truck, it was in and out. No, thank you. No, do you need any help or anything? So that guy didn't get any referrals from us. So keep that in mind, is that you just never know where that referral is going to come from. So just be aware of who you're dealing with on a daily basis and how can you nurture that relationship. Teach your team how to build these relationships, because if you have a team and they're doing what you're doing, you're going to have so much success, it's ridiculous. So keep that in mind. Don't just keep it to yourself, but teach it to your team and teach it to the people that are in the background. So what I mean by that is, if you have a transaction coordinator, teach her how to talk to your clients. Tell her that customer service is 100%. Go beyond the call of duty. Stay ahead of them. Make sure that they don't call us and ask us anything. We know what they're going to ask us before they even know it, right? So that's how your whole team works. Your listing agents, your buyer agents, your transaction coordinators, your office managers, your business manager, your virtual assistants, etc. Make sure that they talk to your clients with the utmost respect, with the best customer service possible. Okay. So, turning your leads into a full-fledged raving fan is going to give you a clear game plan that outlines how you talk to each one of your leads. It's going to outline how you talk to your clients and your business vendors. Know what you value and be clear on those goals. Okay. Your goals are what sets you up in the future, where your values are where you are right now. Okay. So keep that in mind. Your values, what you personally value is what you're going to attract. And we all know that. It's the law of attraction. So just keep that in mind. And then always, once you meet the goal, if you're not meeting it the way you wanted to, then kind of look at it and say, how can I do that in a better way? I'm always looking at my goals saying, okay, well, that's where it started, but maybe I need to tweak that goal a little bit. So keep that in mind, so the values are the most important thing. I don't know if I'm making sense. I'm just kind of talking to you now, but your values are the one thing that when you demonstrate them, it's in the way you act. And so keep that in mind as you're putting this all together and moving your business to the direction that you want it to take. And then decide what you want, and then discover what your clients want, and then deliver those results. Very, very easy to do. You just got to have your mindset in the right place. So as we all know, in closing, that we live in a world that everybody's in a hurry. Nobody wants to take that 5 seconds, so you be that person. You set that example and show your clients, your friends, your family, how much they mean to you. Because at the end of the day, that's what it all comes down to. Okay. So here are some books I'm going to recommend, and they're also in my Amazon store. So if you can't find them, just go to the Amazon store and you'll see them there. But there is a book called Raving Fans by Ken Blanchard, Sheldon Bowles, that is a fabulous book. Matter of fact, the guy that sold me my car gave me that book off of his shelf. We were sitting in his office and I said, well, what's that book about? And he told me, and he said, the sales manager of their dealership, every salesperson got one of those books. And so he gave me his, and I was just thrilled to death. And so I've read it, love it, think there's a lot of information in there that can help you. And then there's another book called Never Eat Alone. This is a book that's been around for a long, long time. An agent that I have had for years sent it to me when it first came out, and I totally loved it. So those are a couple of books if you like to read. Check Audible, see if it's available there. Great. If it's not, go buy the book on Amazon. And then if there's a book that you recommend, I would love to hear about it because I'm a big reader. Most of my clients love to read too. And then just know that if you need help with any part of this strategy that we've talked about today in creating client relationships, reach out to me. I'm happy to have that 30 little minute phone consult to see how we can help you, feel more confident in this area of your business and answer any questions or guide you in the right direction or even help you get this accomplished. So go out, have a great day, and know how much we appreciate y'all listening to our podcast. And if there's something that you would love for us to discuss, then shoot me an email to kim@kimhughes.com or leave it down in the comments and we will reach out to you. And we are looking forward to seeing you next week. Thanks so much. Have a great evening. Bye, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you know someone, and I bet you do, who would appreciate this podcast, please share it with them. As a reminder, this podcast can be delivered directly to your favorite device by using the subscribe links you can find in the show notes below or over at unstoppablerealestateagents.com. Remember, it takes as much energy to wish as it does to plan. Have a great day.